Hello and welcome back. In this video, we're going to continue working on the Rails console and see some other things that we can do from it. So first, let's hop on the Rails console. Make sure you're in the alpha blog. Okay. So if I type in article.all, I can see all the articles that are in my database right now that I created in the last video. And I did that by using article.new and article.save or article.create. So what if I want to edit an article? Let's say I want to edit this article, the second one right here. How do I do that? First, I have to grab this article, okay? So I'm going to create a variable and call it article. And then I'm going to say article, which is the class name, dot find, and then I'll give it the ID of the article that I want to update. So 2 in this case. Hit enter. Okay, so it grabs the second article. So if I type in article, it has my second article. Now I want to, let's say, edit the title of this article. So I'll do article.title equals, this is an edited article title within quotes. Hit enter. This is an edited article title. Now if I type in article.save, this hits the database. Now if I type in article.all, notice how the second article now has an edited title. This is an edited article title. So that's how you edit an article, okay? So similarly, you can edit description if you want as well. First, you grab the article and then you edit what you want and then you save it, okay? And that's how edit works. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to destroy an article. What if I want to delete this third article over here? Article ID 3, this is my third article. I just want to delete it. How do I do that? To do that, again, grab article equals article.find and then 3. So now my article variable has the third article. If I simply do article.destroy, hit enter, delete from articles table where ID is 3 and it returns the article that it deleted. Now if I type in article.all, notice how the third article is gone from my articles table, okay? So that's how you delete an item from the table. So that's great. We have the ability to create, edit, and delete. But there is one problem. Notice how our model is completely empty. So it allows for something like this. What if I create an article equals article.new, okay? Everything is nil. What if I do article.save? Notice it hits the database. I have created an empty article with no title, no description, but it still hits the database. And that's a problem because now I have an empty article with title, description, nil, and it exists in the database. We don't want that. We want to maintain data integrity for our application's data, okay? So how do we counter it? We counter it by adding validations at the model layer. So in our model file, we're going to add validations that enforce some constraints on articles. Basically, when you create an article, we have to ensure that it contains a title and a description. So first, I'm going to get rid of this article. Article, if I do, then it shows me the fourth article, which is still there. So I'll just do article.destroy. So it deleted that, okay. So if I do article.all, okay, so that empty article is gone. So let's first enforce a validation on the title. So over here, simply type in validates : title, presence true. Okay, what this does is it enforces that before the object that I create hits the database, it will ensure that there's a title. Otherwise, it will not save in the database. So let's try it out. Let me see. Article equals article.new, and I'll basically not add a title. I'll just add description. This is title. This is article's description. So notice how I haven't added a title. Hit enter. So this article object got created with a nil title with just a description. Now if I type in article.save, it hit the database. Okay, and this is an error on my part. Why did it work? Because I didn't restart or reload the Rails console. Okay, so this update to the model, it didn't get loaded. So unfortunately, if I type in article.all, this did get saved. So I'm just gonna delete that. So article.destroy. Okay, let me reload. I think reload is the method. Whoops, nope, that's not it. Just type in reload bang, hit enter. Okay, so now it's reloaded. You can also simply exit and then hit Rails console again. All right, so article equals article.new, and then I'll leave title out and description, I'll say this is description. Hit enter. So the article object got created with no title. Now if I type in article.save, notice how it said rollback transaction and it returns a false because it didn't hit the database. How do I find out why it did that? Rails provides you with a very helpful method. You can just say article.errors ? Whoops, I left out something. You have to say article.errors.any ? And it says true. Now I want to know what those errors are. So you can type in article.errors.full_messages and hit enter. Notice how it says title can be blank. So it actually gives you a very helpful error message. All right. So now in order to save an article to the database, the title has to be present. Now let's do that for description also. Validates description presence true. Now there's another validation that I want to add at this time, which is right now, if I say article equals article.new and title, I'll just say A, and then description, I'll say B. Now this doesn't make any sense, right? This is a useless title and a useless description. It's just going to have an article with a title and a B description. That's not good, but since it is present, right, since I did provide title and description, it will save. So if I type in article.save, it hits the database because something was present there, right? So it passed these validations. So we're going to add another constraint to title and another one to description, which is length validation. We will ensure that length cannot be too short. So how do we do that? Simply do this, comma, length, colon, and then open curly brace. I'm going to say minimum, colon, 3, and then maximum, colon, 50. So the title can be minimum 3 characters and maximum 50. All right. Now, similarly for description, I'll say length, colon, open brace, minimum, colon, 10, and maximum, I'll say 300. Okay. So let me save that. Now let's try it again. So I'll do reload bang. Okay. So now article equals article.new title A description B. Now if I type in article.save, okay, so it didn't allow it to go through. If I type in article.errors.full_messages, it says title is too short, minimum is 3 characters, description is too short, minimum is 10 characters. Okay, so both our validation messages are working. Perfect. Now I'm going to exit out of the console. All right, so we've gone a good amount of time without committing our code. So if I just type in git status, notice these are the files that I've created. These are not being tracked right now. I have article, I have migrate folder, then I have schema.rb file. So I'm going to add them, git add -a, then git commit -m. I'll say create articles table model and add validations. Hit enter. Okay, so now I'm going to push this to my GitHub repository. So git push, hit enter. Perfect, so that's saved in our repository. All right, so now we've seen how to create, edit, and delete articles simply by having the model, and then we also added validations to the model, right? But so far, we can only do this from the back end via the Rails console. But we want the ability to do this from the browser, right? Because ultimately, users are going to be using our application, and they'll need to be able to do this from the browser or the user interface, right? So in the next video, we'll start with that. We'll start the feature where users can do these actions from the browser. All right, and for that, we'll need to work with routes, controllers, and views. So I'll see you there.